Well, hello all. So here it is, another day of no rain here in California. Blue skies, light overcast, winds out of the east. At least here in San Francisco, it's very dry. I have an interesting little tidbit of information that none of us have ever talked about, and it's concerning because it means to correct it, humans would have to change their habits. And you know how difficult that is to have happen for any reason, even if it's your life or the entire planet is in trouble. But let's go up here and do a video. So in my last video, I didn't really cover all of brainwashing I should have. I had forgotten all about the sports part of it. Corporate sports teams around the world are involved in brainwashing in each country. From singing nationalistic songs to military bands out on the field to jets flying over. The message is pretty clear, right? Military needs the money, needs, you know, it's an ad for your military, for your patriotism. Join up with the military if you're young enough. You know, it's just endless propaganda that is thrown at us through sports teams that are corporately bought off and are run through these corporate horrible beer companies. And in tune, they all sing the same Star Spangled Banner and all this stuff to keep us brainwashed into thinking we have best country. Well, did you know that almost every country on the planet, if you go and ask them, the people that live there, what country's the best, they'll say their country is the best. Some will say that they will want to leave their country, but it's not a lot. I mean, case in point, people think that North Korea is so bad, but you don't see herds and herds and herds of people trying to get out all at once. So I just wanted to put that out there, that the sports brainwashing is as heavy as any brainwashing out there. Now let's get on to another issue a little more interesting than that, is how does CO2 end up in the ocean and end up in the bottom of the ocean? Does anybody know what the cycle is? It's kind of an interesting one. So you have fish which breed more fish, and all these fish eat other living protein pretty much in plant matter, and then they go and poop, and this poop all settles to the bottom of the ocean. And over time it begins to break down, but it gets a layer of sediment over the top of it. And as it breaks down, the CO2 is released, but it can't go anywhere. But it's in bubble form around the poop. And the thicker the layers, the more CO2 there is in these layers. And there's a problem, because this is part of the way that the ocean gets rid of CO2. Is our fishing for fish and biomass. We're killing off all the biomass in the ocean at record rates, and all that would have been poop would have taken all that CO2 out of the air and put it down at the bottom of the ocean. But at this time, because of the low count of fish and other biomass, the poop layers are much thinner. And in records, in a million years, somebody will take a core sample of this and they'll say that the oceans were denuded of life. Humans have gone ahead and driven most of them extinct or close to it, and there's not enough poop to bring the CO2 to the bottom of the ocean. But there's more problems than that. If there isn't enough poop coming down and enough sediment, then the erosion of the bottom of the ocean can take place from currents and things that brush against the bottom at a later time, and then they begin to release the CO2 into the water column, which will slowly go up and release into the atmosphere. So it's another one of these feedback loops. Very interesting feedback loop. Never even thought of that fish are so important to keeping CO2 out of the atmosphere. And it's not a equation that was figured in any of the atmospheric CO2 models. I thought I'd bring that up and update you on the brainwashing issue. If you have any comments on any of these issues, go ahead and make your comments. I appreciate them a lot. I read every one of them, and I go back and read old comments and see if they've updated, so that I read even the old comments. So I definitely do appreciate all your ups, your downs, the new subscribers, and definitely the commenters. And until next time.